Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here with us today, because I can promise you this. By the time we finish up, you're going to look out your window, maybe see a common bird or a little lizard darting up a wall, and you won't just see a regular animal anymore. You're going to see an advanced, highly engineered piece of living technology. Today we're diving into animal adaptations that sound like they were pulled straight out of a crazy sci-fi novel, but they're completely 100% real. Let's get into it.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The harsh survival problem. 2. Extreme physical pain points. 3. Defying gravity with adhesion. 4. Surviving freezing and trauma. 5. Nature's sci-fi sensory arrays. And finally, 6. Biomimicry and wildlife observation.
All right, starting things off with Section 1, the harsh survival problem.
To really appreciate all these wild adaptations, we have to establish our baseline reality. The natural world isn't just, a peaceful forest or a quiet ocean. It is incredibly dangerous out there. It's biologically expensive, and simply surviving to see tomorrow, that's an everyday battle. Earth is an entirely unforgiving environment, and because of that, evolution essentially acts as the ultimate science fiction writer. It's literally forced to invent these radical, mind-bending technologies just to keep animals alive. The pressure cooker of our planet leaves absolutely zero room for error.
Moving right along to Section 2, extreme physical pain points.
Now, what's really fascinating here is that wildlife isn't just out there dodging hungry predators with teeth and claws. They are constantly battling the invisible, absolutely lethal forces of physics. Think about it. On one side, you have the raw laws of physics, gravity pulling you down, sub-zero freezing temperatures, or kinetic impact. And on the flip side, you have the terrifying biological failures that those forces cause. We're talking slipping and falling to a predator, blood completely freezing solid, or suffering lethal blunt force brain trauma. These are the daily, life-or-death parameters these creatures are dealing with.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, defying gravity with adhesion.
Have you ever watched a little gecko effortlessly run straight up a vertical pane of glass? It's wild, right? Well, researchers have found that geckos are essentially turning off gravity by using molecular physics right in their feet. Their toes have these tiny, microscopic structures called spatulas, and by rapidly fluctuating electron distributions, they form weak but massive networks of attractive forces between molecules. Now, historically, science called these van der Waals forces, but actually, recent observations point more toward electrostatic interactions. But honestly, whichever way the electrons are fluctuating, the result is the same. The gecko is literally bonding with the wall at a molecular level just to avoid falling to its death.
All right, Section 4, surviving freezing and trauma.
Nature has engineered some truly brilliant ways out of freezing solid or shattering bones. Just consider these examples. First up, the wood frog. It faces brutal sub-zero temperatures by producing a natural, internal biological antifreeze. They can survive being completely frozen as solid as a rock and then just wake up when they thaw out. Then you've got the woodpecker. This bird violently smashes its face into tree trunks all day long. To prevent lethal concussions, it actually uses a highly elongated hyoid bone that wraps entirely around its skull to cushion its brain. Unbelievable, right? And finally, the lobster faces cellular aging. Its solution, the telomerase enzyme, which lets it continuously repair and regenerate its cells. We're talking about literal biological immortality tech here.
Let's dive into Section 5, nature's sci-fi sensory arrays.
Okay, moving into sensory capabilities that feel completely pulled out of a futuristic video game, let's talk about the platypus. The platypus is basically a biological submarine. When it hunts, it completely closes its eyes, its ears, and its nose underwater. Instead, it relies 100% on electroreception, these incredible sensors in its beak that pick up the electrical signals of its prey. And as if that wasn't weird enough, the males have hollow heel spurs fed by a venom gland. Oh, and they lay eggs, but are mammals, so they just secrete milk straight out of their skin pores. Their fur glows under UV light, they have absolutely no stomach, and get this, they possess 5 X and 5 Y chromosomes. It totally sounds like a made-up fantasy creature, but this tech is completely real. Now, moving from sensory arrays to straight-up heavy artillery, we absolutely have to talk about the cavitation bubble. Biologists have observed that certain marine life can actually weaponize the water around them by generating a superior shockwave. They do this by moving the water so incredibly fast that it instantly boils, creating this devastating, stunning force.
The pistol shrimp is an absolute master of this. It has this highly specialized claw that it snaps with unimaginable speed. That single, rapid snap creates a cavitation bubble that travels outward at an astonishing 60 miles per hour. It uses this massive shockwave bubble to completely stun its prey from a distance, literally shooting water like a gun.
But honestly, even wilder than the pistol shrimp is the mantis shrimp. This little guy solves its physical pain points by throwing a punch that has roughly the power of a .22 caliber bullet. Think about that for a second. It punches its target so unbelievably hard that the water itself tears apart, generating that massive cavitation bubble. And because the punch happens so fast, the water inside the bubble boils instantly, reaching temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. Just imagine possessing that kind of kinetic firepower.
And if you're looking for pure sci-fi body horror, we have got to look at the deep-sea anglerfish. Surviving down in the pitch-black, freezing depths of the ocean is so biologically expensive that they've developed sexual parasitism. The male, who is much, much smaller, locates a female and bites onto her. Over time, his circulatory system and his tissues completely fuse into her body. The female literally assimilates the male until they become a singular physiological being. It's a terrifying, alien solution to the problem of finding a mate in the endless dark.
So, seeing all this incredible living tech, from gecko feet to mantis shrimp punches to platypus sensors, we really have to step back and ask ourselves, how can these sci-fi adaptations shape our future? How do we take these millions of years of biological research and development and apply them to our own world?
That brings us perfectly to our final section, biomimicry and wildlife observation. This is exactly where we talk about real-world applications. Biomimicry uses everything we've just talked about today. By deeply understanding the molecular adhesion of those geckos, engineers can create better medical adhesives that work without messy glues. By studying the shock-absorbing hyoid bone of a woodpecker, we can design dramatically safer helmets to prevent concussions in athletes. And by mapping out the fluid dynamics of a mantis shrimp's cavitation bubble, we can develop advanced maritime technology and super-efficient propellers. The bottom line is, nature has already solved our hardest physical problems. We just have to pay attention to the blueprints.
I want to leave you with this thought today. We spend so much time looking up at the stars, wondering if advanced alien technology exists out there somewhere in the universe. But the very next time you step outside, I really encourage you to look closely at the wildlife around you. I mean, even the birds migrating at night are literally using the Earth's magnetic field laid over their vision to navigate. You are constantly walking through a living gallery of the most advanced sci-fi technology on Earth. So if nature has already solved our hardest physical problems, what world-changing technology is currently hiding right in your own backyard? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep observing, and I'll catch you next time.